I set out to discover if there is a secret to feeling happy all of the time, and in this video I'm going to share with you exactly what I found. At any one time, over 1 billion adults and over 220 million children are suffering with anxiety and depression related disorders. After a low period in my own life, I decided to research the work of the leading authorities in the world on happiness and well-being. From Buddhist teachers to the leading scientists, everything I learned all seemed to boil down to three main principles, the three keys to happiness. It has been scientifically proven that humans are hardwired for giving. Endorphins are released when we do things for others, and this has been given a name in studies as the giver's high. When we do something good for others, oxygen levels rise, making us fitter and healthier, and release hormones which have anti-aging properties. This happy feeling that you get from giving is the release of serotonin, which is the body's happy neurotransmitter. This is the very same chemical that antidepressant medication drugs are designed to release in the brain. Another thing that happens during this process is the lowering of cortisol. This is the body's stress hormone. In other words, the act of giving not only increases happiness, but also reduces stress at the same time. It's like taking a super powerful antidepressant, an anti-stress pill, but completely natural and has no negative side effects. I challenge you to try doing something nice for others every day and just see how it makes you feel. I guarantee your life will change for the better. Try asking yourself the question, did I have a good or bad day today? Whatever the answer is, ask yourself what was the reason for this. We all go around every day with our moods being constantly affected by external factors. You could be having a great morning and then it all goes south when you're asked to work with a colleague that you don't like or someone cuts you up in traffic. The Buddhist philosophy teaches that happiness or unhappiness are feelings that we actually generate completely within ourselves, based on our reactions to those outside influences. In other words, if we can learn to control or simply notice our reactions to these negative events in our lives, we can learn over time to change our responses to them and in turn become more happier over time. The main way Buddhism teaches us to achieve this is through meditation. There are many resources available online if you would like to learn how to do this, but even just regularly taking a quiet walk in nature or taking some time out for a long bath with relaxing music and no distractions can give you the same outcome. A lot of advice on how to find happiness is based on the concept of positive thinking, but in reality it's not that simple. We all spend lots of time worrying about things over and over when we know very well that worrying will neither help or change the situation. Studies have shown that our minds spend around 46% of the time we are awake drifting and wandering, with us having no control over this. This makes it much harder to control our thoughts than it is to control our actions. For example, if I asked you to think about nothing for 5 minutes, it's pretty much impossible. But if on the other hand, I asked you to hold your hand in the air for 5 minutes, you could achieve this much more easily. More studies have shown that our brains are programmed and have evolved to prioritize negative feedback over positive. For example, if you have an appraisal with your boss and they give you 5 pieces of positive feedback on your performance, along with one thing that you could improve, you are most likely to leave the meeting thinking about the thing you could improve rather than any of the positive points. A perceived negative event has actually been proven to have twice the effect on us as a perceived positive event in our day-to-day lives. This was useful in less evolved societies where we had real threats to our lives on a daily basis. But in the modern world, this bias has a terrible effect on our mental health and well-being. We are programmed to simply survive rather than survive and be happy. This is why simply thinking positive is pretty much impossible advice to take. Happiness is a skill we need to work on, like any skill, but most of us never take the time out to do it. We can actually train ourselves to be happier and feel better in our daily lives. One example of something you can do right now to set these wheels in motion is simply take out your phone and text a kind and appreciative message to someone and just see how that makes you feel. Doing this just one time will not necessarily change your life, but building small acts like this into your life as a healthy habit over time will most definitely improve your personal relationships and in turn improve your overall happiness and well-being. A study over several decades was recently completed at Harvard University, which showed that the single most important factor in human well-being is the quality of our relationships. We do not necessarily need lots of friends or even a life partner, but the quality of the personal relationships that we do have has a huge effect on our mental health and well-being. So rather than positive thinking, try positive action. Invest your time and heart into the relationships around you. Whether it's with neighbours, work colleagues or family and friends, even a simple choice to be a bit more caring and understanding each day can be one of the most important things you can do to improve your happiness and well-being.